Welcome to CSIROnow. On August 6th, Australia was listening when the CSIRO-managed Canberra Deep Space Communication Complex received signals from NASA's Mars Science Laboratory rover Curiosity as it landed safely on the surface of the red planet. The public turned out in droves at the visitor centre to share in the excitement and the sausage sizzle. The alignment between Earth and Mars meant that only the giant communication antennas at CDS-CC had the direct communication link with Curiosity for its critical entry, descent and landing. As the last critical 7 minutes of terror, as described by NASA scientists in the landing phase, sped by, people stood transfixed to the screen, watching a live feed from the Mission Control Center at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Pasadena, California. In the final few seconds, everyone held their breath and then erupted in cheers as confirmation of the landing came through. Touring the Canberra Deep Space Communication Complex and meeting with staff, CSIRO Chief Executive Dr. Megan Clark expressed her admiration for the professionalism of the engineers and technicians based at the complex.
It's just an amazing level of professionalism that NASA and JPL could trust to really be the prime communication centre for the landing of Curiosity on Mars. I mean, just how exciting and what a wonderful endorsement of our partnership.
Joining the 100 still gathered in the Visitors Centre, Dr. Clark, United States Ambassador Jeffrey Bleish and Canberra Deep Space Communication Complex Director Dr. Ed Cruzens gave the mission a thumbs up. It had been a long day for all involved, and the serving of the Mars cake was a fun way to wrap up the event.
This has been an ongoing partnership, and Space Exploration Day exemplified by the great work done by our teams, providing that communication to land the Mars Science Laboratory Curiosity on the surface of Mars, and this will be a partnership that will go on for many, many years to come.
A new type of cattle gate aimed at preventing farmer death and injury has completed rigorous testing and development by CSIRO. SaferGate, designed by farmer and inventor Edward Evans, has been put to the test by a CSIRO-developed crash test cow. The SaferGate was invented after Mr. Evans had his own leg broken when operating a traditional cattle gate on his farm, and then the invention went on to win the ABC Television's New Inventors Grand Final in 2011.
I started working with the CSIRO after winning the Grand Final on the New Inventors, and the major prize was $10,000 for testing and to see if they could add more science to the gate.
Unlike a traditional cattle gate, the SaferGate swings away from the operator when a cow charges it, preventing injury or death. This is achieved by a pivot mechanism which splits the gate into two pieces when hit, allowing the part of the gate in front of the operator to fold back on itself and away from them.
The design of the gate is quite unique in that it's a gate in two parts. There is one part that is only railing and the cattle can see through, and that's the part that the cattle will want to go to. The other section is a balk section where the farmer is standing behind that balk gate. The cattle won't generally aim for that section of the gate because they can't see through it. It's deemed as a solid object to the cow.
CSIRO scientists improved the original design by adding a magnet on the gate hinge, which allows the gate to remain in a steady position until hit. They also added a handle on top of the gate that makes it easier for workers on horseback to open it.
This is a safety device that will save many lives in time to come.
So I'd like to now get on with proceedings and first of all introduce Elvira Polixanska. Elvira.
On August the 17th, the Queensland Maritime Museum was the venue for the launch of the 2012 Marine Climate Change in Australia report card.
Hello, I'm Elvira Polixanska from CSIRO Climate Adaptation Flagship. The Marine Report Card and the accompanying website is a communication tool. It's been put together by over 80 Australian scientists, and it brings together our state of knowledge of climate change impacts and adaptation in Australia's oceans.
Led by CSIRO, the report shows that for many groups of plants and animals where there was no evidence for climate impacts in 2009, there is now striking evidence of extensive southward movements of tropical species in southeast Australia, declines in abundance of many temperate species, and the first signs of the effect of ocean acidification on marine species with shells. The project was funded by the Australian Government Department of Climate Change and Energy Efficiency through the National Climate Change Adaptation Research Facilities Marine Biodiversity and Resources Marine Adaptation Network, Fisheries Research and Development Corporation, and CSIRO's Climate Adaptation National Research Flagship.
Having this sort of information underpins our evidence of changes in the marine environment, but also provides much needed information to decision makers.
A new development from CSIRO was announced in August that aims to bring instant and expert technical help to remote locations, helping to improve skills, slash costs, raise productivity and improve safety in rural and regional areas.
This technology we call remote means that expert help could be available anywhere, anytime.
At a remote location, this person needs help with machinery and puts on a wearable computer. Back in the office, the expert who knows how to fix it fires up their end of the connection. The remote operator can see what's being worked on by the on-site operator, and the two talk to each other. And the on-site operator can see the hands of the expert. Research has shown that hand gestures provide a rich source of information.
We initially developed remote for the mining industry, but its use are far wider than that. We see it in use in farms, in hospital, in manufacturing industry, literally in any industry where expert help is needed.
The technology will work wherever there's a landline or satellite internet connection, and is another example of how technology is shrinking our planet. From August 11th through to the 19th was National Science Week, an annual celebration of science in Australia. In Queensland, the Eco Sciences Precinct opened its doors to the general public to showcase its extraordinary science. A number of agencies, including CSIRO, the Queensland State Department of Agriculture, Fisheries and Forestry, and Department of Science, Information Technology, Innovation and the Arts, were involved. There was plenty on offer, including hands-on experiments for the kids, live demonstrations from the CSIRO education team, and guided tours of the Eco Sciences Precinct. And that's CSIRO Now. For more information on any of these stories or to follow us on other social media, go to www.csiro.au.